We are live. Good day to you. Listen, if you can hear my voice and see the screen, drop a number 8 for me in the chat box and also let us know where you're tuning in from. I would love to know. Let me see. I have someone here from Brisbane, Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Tobago, Hawaii, San Antonio. I got some Texas friends here. Germany, Jamaica, England, Toronto, Canada, Bermuda. Okay, Georgia, I see you. Awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, it is such an honor and a pleasure to be with you today and share some time. I just want to welcome everyone for the end of quarter number 1, 2021. I'm absolutely honored to share this moment with you because today we get to go over some concepts and some principles in which they will help with trading for sure. That's what we focus on here at ELLEV8. And they'll also actually help you with your ordinary life. So without further ado, let's just get right to it. I'm your host, Jon Spencer, the Director of Education at ELLEV8. And oftentimes we get questions as traders and educators, you know, what's the secret? What's the secret to success? What really is separating you guys from other people and companies and other opportunities to learn, so on and so forth. And I'm really glad you asked. I'm really glad that you're even thinking along those pathways. And so today, what I want to do is enlighten you with a few principles and concepts that will help you not only elevate with trading, because, you know, we stumble into these ideas of this is what I want to accomplish and this is what I want to do. And you start thinking it's about trading. The more we get to know each other, we're friends. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Jon. And I'm going to be one of your greatest friends along your journey because trading is not about trading. It's not about money. It's not about the charts. It's not even fully about the financial market. It's actually about you. Who will you become along the journey of learning this new skill? Because that's what it's about. And for some reason, my entire several years of doing this, I meet people that they get stumbled on trading. They get stumbled on the charts. They get stumbled on the wrong thing, in my opinion. See, the secret to your success when it comes to trading or any venture, we can talk about being an entrepreneur if you'd like. We can talk about your relationships, your friendships, even some of you, if you've got kids, you know, how you parent. And to be honest with you, it's always going to come down to you. You are the secret. If you're listening to what I just said, put that in the chat box. I am the secret. I am the secret because it's you. You are the secret. We're going to do what we do at ELLEV8. Your leadership, they're going to do what they do as well. They're going to guide you. They're going to co-mentor you through this process and journey. Our team of educators, we're going to do what we do best. But you know what we can't do? What we can't control is you and your mindset. You, my friend, are the secret sauce. It's you. But if you don't embrace that and if you don't fully understand that, you're going to struggle with trading. You're going to struggle with everything because everything always will come back to you. We put the proper things in place. You know, we are releasing all of our toys as they come readily available. We don't release things just to put it out there. We want to make sure it functions right. We want to make sure that it does what our expectations are, because if they don't meet our expectations, we surely are not going to meet yours, right? And so I want you to realize the experience will always come back to you. What is your mindset along your journey? So what we're going to speak about today is the success system. Now, I want those fingers handy. I want some interaction. I definitely want you to be able to take notes. If you are taking notes, that part begins right now. Note takers are money makers or profit makers when it comes to trading. Super students are the ones that always take notes. They always show up to class. And I can guarantee you one thing: you've already started off wrong if you think you know everything enough to leave your fortune to your memory and you don't even want to take a note. You don't want to take a screen capture. You don't want to keep it in record in your smartphone. And I joke about this, but I'm really serious. Your smartphone's a dumb phone if it doesn't pay you money, if it doesn't have your plan in it, if it doesn't have notes and pictures and memories of things that you are going to need to elevate, to excel, to accelerate, right? So we're going to talk about the success system. I get asked all the time, but Jon, how do I become good at trading? And what makes this so different than everything else? We have a system, and the system starts with you. It's in place, but now I'm talking about a different system. I'm talking about a flow matrix, if you will, a measure of your process so that you can take, I believe sometimes we assume as educators or leaders and mentors that people get the steps in the process ordered in the right structure to follow it properly. And that's just not true. I want you to have a roadmap. Friends, this is your roadmap. The success system on how to become a super student. Now, please, somebody in the chat, ask me, what is a super student? Just one person. I don't need you all to do it. Just one person in the chat box. Ask me, what is a super student? Let me check here. Let me check. And my friends that are tuning in online through social media, hello to you there as well. I just want someone to ask me. Who is asking? Let me see who's asking me here. Let me see. Fabian Santiago. Fabian just asked me, what is a super student? Fabian, glad you asked, my friend. What is a super student? A super student is a person that follows along diligently, consistently with their educator, with their leadership, with their mentorship, with, above all, the system. That, my friends, is a super student. Now, there's a second level to being a super student, and that's the student that applies the information, which then indeed becomes successful along the journey. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I hate to be the guy of bad news. You will not succeed if you're not a super student. You just won't. So now that we're on the same page on there's a success system, there is this concept that we call a super student. And this person's always elevating any way that they can in all the aspects that they can control, because when it comes to trading, you can't control everything, right? You don't move the markets unless you're trading with a minimum of $5 trillion. You don't have control of the Forex market. You don't. You do have control of being a super student or not. And I get the pleasure and the honor in a moment to introduce to you one of my favorite super students. Now, we've got a few. This particular person I brag upon the most, not just because of her success record, okay? It's not because of that. It's because she did it in a short amount of time, and that is crazy. And you'll hear from her in a moment. And then not even because of her success with that, she's still, even after the success, she's still a super student. She's still in class. She's following along. She's teachable and coachable, right? See, if you're not teachable and coachable, you're not going to be a super student. Just not. It's just part of it. If you're not teachable and coachable, you will not be a super student. We can't help you. Sorry. That's number one about this person. And then number two about this person, she didn't just do it once or twice, but 3 times she's on track to duplicate what she's done. Even when people say, oh, that's not possible. You know what she did? She just stayed a super student and then did it again. I don't know a lot of people that when they find success, oh, I don't need mentorship. I'm good. I don't need you guys anymore. The education platform, you guys taught me everything. You know, I made my money. I'm out. Peace. Deuces. No. See, a super student understands that number one secret is always being a student. Always. We can't ever learn more than the person that's teaching you. I'm going to say it again, and that's a note that you can take that's not on the chart here on the screen. It is almost virtually impossible to know more than your teacher, in a sense, when it comes to this, because they've been doing it a little bit longer. They've gone through the process that you are going through. They've gone through it more times than you've gone through it. They put in more hours. They put in more consistency. So for these people that we call super students, I'm honored that they stick to the process. They remain a part of the plan and the journey, because a lot of people, they make a few bucks, they go out on their own and, oh, I got it. I don't need the education platform anymore. I made a few bucks. I'm good, right? And then you wonder why they don't have that money later. See, they didn't stay in the system long enough to understand what it takes to keep the money. Anybody eventually can make money trading. I want you to know, if you're listening, in the chat box, put a little smiley face. Put a little smiley face, put the smiley face, because eventually, if you don't quit, guess what? You're going to make money trading. You are. So then if John, are you guaranteeing that this is not an income claim on how much money, but I am guaranteeing you, you will make money trading as long as you don't quit. When? I don't know. Some people, they do it in a month. Some do it in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 4 or 5 years. You will make money as long as you don't quit. So then the next catch, the reason you need to be a super student is you want to keep the money. You want to take that money and multiply it into more money. You want to learn how to keep money working for you, so you never, ever, 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 ever have to work for money again. That is empowerment, my friends. So what's the number one thing, I guess, that you need to grab a hold of and own to be a super student? It's right here in front of you. Commitment. That big capital C word, commitment. Commitment. That long word. See, you need to apply that in every area of your life, right? But when it comes to trading, if you show me your calendar, I'll show you your pace toward your goals. If you show me your calendar, I'll show you your track, right? Because a lot of people, oh, I'm committed. I'm ready to go. And then I say, show me your calendar. Have you planned to even attend class? Are you planning, oh, well, I'm past that phase. I've gone through the basics. I got that information already. I got that part. I just want to learn the strategies. I just want to learn those bank concepts that you guys talk about at Elevate all the time. You know, well, show me your calendar. If you show me your calendar, I'll show you your pace towards your goals. I'll show you your success record ahead. If it's not in the calendar, you're not planning. And if you don't plan, you're going to plan to fail eventually, because you don't even schedule the times that you're going to go to class. Now, I get this question all the time, you know, this is for my super duper students that they think they need to sit in front of screens all day. They think that it takes all of this crazy madness in front of a screen, and I'm just going to watch the screen all day. I'm a full-time trader. That's not the commitment that I'm talking about. I'm talking about you find any discretionary time, a few hours a week, and you consistently have it in your scheduled calendar, that you're going to attend class. And then you're going to study on the other days, or maybe those days that you're in class, you go off on your own an additional hour and you study, right? Because number two, right there too, number two, consistency is key. How can you be consistent if you're not doing number one? You're not even so committed it's in your schedule. We have our schedule. The educators pump out a ton of value, not just teaching and talking and ranting on and doing all that. They bring value every single day. Every single day. You don't have to worry about that. Are you committed to plugging into the value? Are you willing to be consistent? Because if it's not in your schedule, you're not on pace to be even consistent. You're not even committed. But John, I want to make all this money. I want my time freedom. I want to pay my bills. How much money does that take? Let's forget about the goal. See, that's the problem. People are focusing on the goal. It's not about the goal. Why don't you focus on the things that'll get you to the goal, right? The goal is icing on a cake. Let's focus on the steps, this here, the success system. You see, am I pointing at? Oh, you can't see me pointing at it right here. The success system is what you need to focus on. The goals will come. Put in the chat box, my goals will come. You're going to meet your goals. That's a byproduct. That's the cherry on top, right? You're going to meet your goals. You need to be committed and consistent. That's what you need to focus on. Don't focus on the goal. Set your schedule up, what days you're going to wake up and trade live with us, right? Set your schedule up to when you're going to trade. You don't need to sit in front of a computer screen all day. John, I got these kids. I got my job still. Can I trade? Yes. This market is 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week if you trade the cryptocurrencies. And we teach you how to trade. Our strategies work with all markets, options and stock even, right? So there is no excuse 24 hours in a day. If you're committed, you'll make it happen. See, I'm sitting here before you because I was committed, period. And I was consistent. And I became an educator because I love empowering other people. I love teaching it, right? Commitment, consistency. Number three, are you just watching? Are you just watching? Are you in class? Are you just watching? Or are you listening? What do you mean, John? What do you mean by that? See, a lot of people show up to class, but they're not listening. They're not listening. We're giving you the secret. We're giving you the sauce. You don't just watch, I'm here. They're talking. I'm cooking it on Zoom. Sure, I'm here. I'm committed. I woke up. Or I know I had a long day at work. You know what? But I'm committed. I came to class. I got it in my schedule too. It's in my calendar. Consistency. Are you listening or are you watching? Which brings us to number 4. Are you listening and applying? See, that's the difference. I'm building this up for you, my friends, because this person that you get to hear her story did all of this with 110% of effort and energy. Not just watching, but listening. Not just listening, but applying the information that we teach. So when you hear of any of our super students, you'll hear from more of them later on down the line. When you hear from any of our super students, these are the steps that they do every single day, every single week, every single month. Not just listening, but applying. So when my friend did that stuff before, and my friend's in the group too, actually, and you know what? My friend ain't take X amount and turn it to X amount. So what's the difference in that? It's that person. I mean, it's that person. Prior to this experience, I'm gonna go off on just a small little rant, if that's okay. Is that okay if I go off on a rant? Just put a Y in the chat box for yes and an N for no. If you put in, I might not go on this rant. I want to make sure you're with me though. Is it okay? Is it okay? Miss Brenda says yes, and that's my mom's name. So I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to Maria and Miss Brenda there. Prior to a becoming a full-time trader, I was a fitness and nutrition professional, and my workout program, it was definitely different. It was unique and it was tough. And shout out to anyone that's ever encountered me back in those days. But you know what? The program worked, right? So if it works for someone else, why wouldn't it work for you? It's probably you. It's probably you aren't actually applying everything that you are taught. You may think you are, but see, you didn't write it down. You're not taking notes, right? You're not taking notes. So you thought you were following the process, but you weren't. And someone else got the results back in the day in fitness, and this other person weren't. And they were coming in at the same time, working out. Same workout, different body types, slightly different. I'll give you that. And I did the small group stuff, 5 or 6 people at a time, right? And 4 or 5 of them got results, but one of them didn't. And come to find out, oh, this person, there was a couple of small things that was happening at home, which I wasn't at their house, right? And they didn't get results, and somehow they blamed me, right? And I just had to kindly tell them, you know what? Let's revamp a few things outside of here. And let's see, don't you get results? And sure enough, that person did, right? This is the same way. It's the same way. Apply what we are teaching you. There is a guarantee of results and success eventually, okay? What dollar amount determines on that person, right? And the amount that they're risking and so on. Study. This is number 5, by the way, for those note takers, those money makers. Study with practice. Don't just study. Oh, I'm watching the recording. Take notes and then practice what we teach you. I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, I'm probably preaching to the choir here, you know, because the real super students even on this Zoom right now. They're even on the Zoom right now. Probably already know what I'm talking about, but they're still here. Still. Shout out to any of those super students and future super students that always just tune into everything. They tune into everything. And I guarantee you their level of success and results will come way quicker than the people that don't. You don't just study. I read a book. I watched a recording. I did take a couple of notes. But you're not practicing the information. Even if you're taking out trades, because guess what? You don't have to be a full-time trader. You don't have to take your own trades here. You don't. Your educators are full-time traders. Take their trades. Practice what they are entering when they tell you to enter it. You take it and take their results, cheat off the smart kid, right? This is one of the few arenas in life that you can cheat off the smart kid. Man, that's so refreshing. I used to get into trouble, you know, in junior high. I used to get in trouble. I used to try to, cheat off the smart kid nearby over here because one of my favorite subjects, you know, I wasn't that good at. And obviously I got in trouble, you know. I only got caught doing it a couple of times and I learned from it. And it was really because I wasn't studying. I wasn't practicing. I wasn't applying what the teacher was telling me. It doesn't matter. This applies to all areas of your life. But here at Elevate, those that play follow the leader and the mentor the best, learning how to cheat off the smart kid, talking about your educators, you succeed the fastest. You get paid for cheating off the smart kid here. Can I get a ooh and an ah in the chat box? Because when I understood that concept, I was like, I'm good. If my educator can make some money and I can cheat off of them, I'm gonna win too. Yep. If you apply and practice the concepts, you get to cheat off the smart kid. It's okay. Please don't go create your own trades and do all this on your own and stress yourself out. We've already done that for you. Please don't go off and do this on your own. What's that? You've only traded never? I've only traded 2 years? Oh, okay. Why would you not cheat off the smart kid? We've been trading longer. We've experienced more losses and wins than you have. Cheat off the smart kid. Practice it. Practice cheating off the smart kid. Number 6, just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat the concepts and the teachings and the lessons and the recordings and all of it. Rinse and repeat. The more time you put into numbers 1 through 6, you will quickly expedite your elevation. I like that. Expedite your elevation. That's kind of cool. Hey, marketing team, if you're listening, I need y'all to coin that phrase for me. Put one of get my best side when you do it. Get one of my best shots. Here, I'm up. Hold on for a second. I want them to get a good shot of me here. And I want them to make a post about this on social media. Okay, cool. You will accelerate your elevation. If you can do numbers 1 through 6 consistently, repeatedly, you will do just that. So then these last 2 steps are just common sense, literally. But 2 of the most difficult things out of everything that I said, I think 1 through 6 is really easy, and it holds its own merit of challenges, but number 7 and 8 are the hardest of the list. Number 7 is patiently trust the process. Put trust in the chat box. Trust. Let's go. Let me see. Put those trusts in the chat box. Put it in the chat box. Trust. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process, but patiently trust it. You see, that's the thing. What's wrong with society these days? You want that microwave way to success, right? There isn't one. There isn't one. Your journey is your journey. Don't compare your journey to someone else's journey. Be patient and trust the process. And number 8 is quite simple. Stay plugged in order to elevate. Get my other side for that one. I want these need to be 2 different social media posts. Marketing team, if you're still listening to me, this part here, this here. Stay plugged in order to elevate. Get my other side. That way we can have 2 social media posts here. Okay, cool. Hey, turn my hat backwards. That way you can change it up. Hold on, I'll get this out again. Right? Stay plugged in order to elevate. And I know it may be a challenge for some people, like our customers and our ambassadors. Shout out to any of our ambassadors listening right now as well. Sometimes we're going to come across people that create excuses like, oh, it's $100 a month. It's $150. I can't stay plugged in. Listen, all of the stuff that I mentioned before, numbers 1 through 7, if you don't stay plugged in, we can't help you accomplish 1 through 7. See, when you stay plugged in, we'll be able to help you accomplish numbers 1 through 7. Find a way. Find a way to make it happen, as if your goals, your dreams depended on it, because they do. So those, friends, are the success system steps, how to become a super student. Commitment, consistency, watching and listening and applying, study with practice, rinse and repeat, patiently trust the process, staying plugged in order to elevate. That's all I got. That is the secret. If you wanted to know the secret, there you have it. This will separate you along your journey from anyone else along the journey. These factors right here. How good can you do numbers 1 through 8 with all of your ability? And guess what? Everything on there you can control. You can control. So there's no excuse, unless you want to find one under your hat, right? So now here's what I want to do. I want to transition, and I want to introduce to you someone that does all of this without a complaint, without an excuse, an amazing wife and mother, a professional. I do have one thing that I think helped her a little bit, is she works at a university in the amazing island of Trinidad. I've never met this woman in person. I haven't. She calls herself the ELLEV8 mascot, and it's silly because I'm like, no, you're a super student. I'm not going to call you a mascot just because you do the things that we're putting out in front of you on a regular, consistent basis. I've had her speak before to one of our former groups when we went live to share her story. But due to our recent partnership with the iBoomerang family, and a lot of people haven't been able to hear her story. We've got a lot of super students, but her story is so unique because she didn't just do it once, like I said. She's done it more than once and still remains plugged in. So without further ado, Miss Kenya, I'm going to ask you, my friend, to say hello to the beautiful people. And I'm just going to stop sharing my screen really quickly. And I want you to just be you. Tell people the absolute truth. Tell them where you are from. Let them know if we've even met or not, other than Zoom.
I have never met this man in my life.
Tell them too, what was your profession before trading? Or do you have a friend in the markets? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
No, I still have my same. I'm still working though, guys. I still work. I still have my profession.
So Miss Kenya, tell them, where you're located. What did you do prior to trading? And tell us, maybe if you've had an experience before ELLEV8, what was that experience? And then share with us some of your success.
I will start from the beginning of my story. I will, of course, because I'm sure many of you have the same story that I have. Probably not the same ending, but the same beginning, I can guarantee you that. So how did I start? I've always heard about Forex and trading and all these things. Oh, by the way, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a small island in the Caribbean. Yes. And I work at the university. I'm a wife. I'm a mom to a wonderful little guy. He's 5 years old. Yes. So my hands are very full normally, right? But I still made time. So anyway, I always was interested in always making my money work for me. And I always wanted to get into investments, and I knew about Forex. And those of you who are from the Caribbean know that we are populated with people who will tell you about the best company to learn to trade, right? I don't want to call any names, but those in the Caribbean, we know who they are, right? And I was sadly scammed to start off with, right? This guy, he took my money. He told me it didn't work out and this, that, and the other. I ended up calling fraud squad. I got back my money. But then I was like, but wait, if he could do this, where did he come from? I know I'm smarter than him. And how come he can make all this money? I'd still scam people with it. So I said, okay, let me look into this. I started investigating and I got with one group. And as typical groups, they give you these dreams and visions of grandeur that are most likely not true. And I followed them and I lost over 3,000 US dollars, more than 3,000 US of money that I didn't have to lose, but I was persistent and I said, no, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And every time, oh, hold on, there's my little guy. That's what
There he is. He's all embarrassed now.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, what ended up happening is that I got with this group and I mean, I didn't get the proper trading psychology and the proper mentality to becoming a successful trader. Oh, thanks, Judy. He is cute. Yes, he is my baby. Yes, yes. And what ended up happening is that I kept refunding my account because I was promised to make millions of dollars, right? So obviously this sounds awesome, right? So eventually I decided, you know what, I don't understand why I keep losing money, but there was no teaching. So I decided I paid money and I decided to go and study on Udemy and all of these things. And I said, okay, all right, I'm understanding. And then this is when I met John and Derek and Aaron Lockhart. There was another company that they were in. And I decided to go to their classes. And I was like, okay, I'm understanding. This is similar to what I paid for before. And this is in a nice package deal. I kept following them and applying what I was learning. And I was getting a little better. And I really got hooked on Derek Crisp and his whole concept of grid trading, right? And up to now, I didn't know what to trade. Now, remember what I said where I came from, right? When I started and I got scammed, I didn't know what a pip was. I did not know, I lost money because I didn't know what a stop loss was. So that was like the major thing. I did not know what a take profit was. I didn't know how to put in a take profit. I didn't even know how to get out a trade. I just knew how to click a button. Like, on the MG4, that little button, that's it. Just click buy and sell. Because that's what the person told me. Oh, when I say buy, just click buy. When I say sell, just click sell. I will tell you, enter this as a lot size. I didn't even know what a lot size was. But all I do is I was entering this number and clicking a button. That's literally where I came from, right? And this was last year, by the way, guys. This was like about last year, June or so, when I started by JD. Yes. And since then, I was following these new educators, John, Derek, and Aaron. And they left the other company. And I decided, well, what's the point of staying? Because these were the guys I was learning from. So I went with them. And lo and behold, that's when everything turned out. I don't know if it's probably that's when they turned up the switch. They turned it up a notch. And I still didn't know what I was doing, by the way, guys. I did not know what I was doing, but I had an understanding. So I started plugging into the classes every day. And they had this inside the mind of a trader. And they would give out these trade ideas, right? So this is where it's going to get you how I made my money in this short space of time, right? I had no idea what I was doing, no idea, right? So when John said cheat off the smart kid, I was literally just mimicking the smart kid. I never drew a chart. Up to this day, I had no idea how to draw support and resistance or trend line. I knew what it was, but I didn't know how to draw it, right? I didn't know. So I would just be like, oh, this was a trade idea. I just copied it, just screenshots. I plugged in the numbers because at least I learned to do that. I learned how to plug in numbers, right? And I just clicked and I just continued with my clicking. But I understood why I was clicking. I wasn't just clicking randomly. I didn't know how to do it for myself, But I understood, oh, when he said this about the cloud, when Aaron would say this about fast, when Derek would say this is about how to enter the trade and the Krispy Kreme and the 38.2 retracement and all these things. So I understood everything that was happening. But to say that I wasn't confident enough to do it on my own. So anyway, I started off with $100. So this was like me just saying, okay, I've lost so much. I've put 1,000 US, 500 US, and all these little things. I was like, I might probably blow this account too. So let me start small. Let's start with 100. So I started with 100, and this was in August. And by October, I turned that 100 US into 100,000 US. Just following.
Are you being honest? Are you being honest? You said 3 figures to 6 figures within 3 months.
Yes. This is a real. It was a real account, and the thing is that I wasn't even boastful about it because it was such a shock to me. I didn't even realize what was happening. You know, I would set what was good trading, and honestly, the way I did it, don't do that. But it worked out. It really did work out. But you know, when you that saying ignorance is bliss. You know, when you're wide-eyed and you're bushy-tailed and you know, like a child, they're just fearless. Right. When I came in, I wasn't tainted too much. And I just trusted them 110%, and I was just fearless. But now I have a little bit more knowledge. I'm like, I won't do that. But I did it, and it worked out. There were sometimes I was really sweating. That $100 went down to like $25. Yes. And it was like blinking, like they're gonna cut off my trade. And then by the time in like about an hour, it turned into $500. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, it works. And then I did it again. And then at 500, I graded it again, and it turned into 750. I was like, oh. And then it kept going. But on a realistic note, it really was an experience. And it really was because I followed my educators, and I kept consistent. I kept studying. I kept plugging in, and I kept asking questions. Most important, I'm sure they know. I ask a lot of questions. Right? I always show some charts, and that's a good thing. Now with this whole platform that they have, we now have the ability to have what they call study halls. I realize John did not mention that, right? So other than class, you can attend something called a study hall, right? And it's an hour where everything that you learned in class, you can actually go and study and ask questions and get like feedback. And it's not the only time, because if you have a chart and you're not accustomed to it, you could just send it into your Discord, and the educator would actually respond. And you might be talking to one educator, and like 5 of them are responding to you. Yeah. So that's to tell you. And you get feedback from, just not really. You get feedback from all aspects, and you get different perspectives. So that's another thing. It could become a little overwhelming. So you just keep it very simple, take it slow. You don't have to master all the concepts of trading that they have, because they have a variety. But because they have such a variety, it helps you discover the type of trader you are. When I started, I was forced into being a scalper, and I realized I am not a scalper. I am not a scalper. I am sweating. I want to cry. I have nervous breakdowns. And I realized that I am a swing and intraday trader, sometimes a position trader. But
so can I ask you something, Kania?
Yes.
I'm sorry to jump in and interrupt, but
that's okay.
I want you to share with them your top 3 reasons, rather quickly, the top 3 things that you think that really helped you elevate your knowledge with this so quickly.
The first thing is your attitude, right? When you lose, and you will lose, right? It's not to beat yourself up about it. I took the time to figure out, well, why did I lose? Why did I enter this trade? what did I miss? What did I not see? So that's the first thing. It has to do with your attitude. The second thing is you have to take notes, and not just sit with a notepad and write down notes, but you actually have to revise the notes.
Oh, you mean practice, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I thought I
Yeah.
told him that, but I didn't want to leave anything out of that number, list of 8. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, you have to practice, but you have to, yes, exactly, Linda. You can't be a sore loser. You need to be a sport. Exactly. But you have to understand. Don't just think that, oh, I failed. But you have to keep getting back up. You have to be resilient, right? You have to understand that you are learning, it's a learning curve. So yeah, so that would be my top one. You have to have the right attitude. As Jon was saying, there are different people who get different results, and it has to do with your attitude. And yes, that actually is going to be my third point. You have to accept small wins. Accept small wins. Somebody will post on the chat, oh, they made $1,000 today. But do you know the size of their account? So it has to do with ratios. So like now, the first time I got the 100,000, that was strictly following educators. And since then, I have been able to elevate. I use the word. I have been able to elevate, and I have grown in confidence to analyze my own charts now. And I haven't been trading for a year. Honestly, June is going to be a year for me. And I can analyze my own charts now. I can actually sort of, I wouldn't say predict, but have a good insight as to where and what might be going on. And I have not been able to make another $100,000 in 3 months, guys, for those of you who have been asking. However, I was able to take $200 in January and turn it into $40,000 in 3 months. Yes. So I was able to do that on my own, taking trade ideas, but also on my own. And I was able to take 1,000 US and turn it into 27,000 US in 1 month. So I was able to consistently earn more or less. I can take $50 and turn it into $6,000 in a month. So I can consistently earn. Yes. And that's the thing. You have to be consistent. That's how you know you are a super student, and that's how you know that you truly are learning and elevating. And this platform, I have to say, I've been with 3 companies. This is the third one. And they are the ones that really focus on your knowledge, because that is one thing, guys, that it would never leave you once you understand. And I will tell you how much money I spent, over 600 US in Udemy trying to learn to trade, right? And I didn't understand because I didn't have that real life feedback. And that's what Elevate gives you. And they are family. They make you feel like a family.
I'm always blown away too, because, you did the 3 figures to 6, then you restarted an account because friends didn't believe you, and they
a lot of people
you got lucky, yes. All those things. And you started with another 3 figures and turned it to 40,000. But think about I know you know this, but so I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the listeners. Think about what she's saying. She had 3 figures, and even if she turned it to $10,000, who has a bank account or a form of investment that you can put a couple of $100 and turn it to 4? And not in a year. We're not even talking about a year. This is not an income claim. This is not a guarantee for profits. Do not go tell someone that they said, I am guaranteed to do anything, because we are not guaranteeing that you will have Miss Campbell's story. What we are guaranteeing is we have a system, we have a format, we have a group of concepts, bank trading concepts, that if you apply them properly, consistently, studying, not just watching, but studying and applying, eventually you will share a similar story. Now, will it be 3 figures to 5 and 6? I don't know all that. But even if you took 3 figures, you took 100, 200, and you turn it to 400, that is crazy. Even if you made $50 out of $100, because you're not going to get that saving that money in the bank. You're just not. So I don't want you to feel, Kenya, that you need to say more. I do want to land the plane, but if you have a few more words that you can leave the people with before we end this conversation, please feel free to tell them anything else that you think contributed to your success, or maybe something you wish you would have known maybe along your journey. I don't want to keep anybody handicapped here.
Oh, I wish I had the help that I have now in the beginning, and the honesty. I think most companies, most people will pull up, they have fast car, big chains, all these different things. And I just loved the plain simplicity of all the educators of ELLEV8. And they're so honest. They're honest about, okay, this is what you should be doing, and this is how far you should go. And they really focus on your mentality as a trader. And I mean, I wish I had that, because honestly, mentally in the beginning, it was very heartbreaking for me. And it's just my sheer willpower of knowing I should succeed of why I started. But a lot of people don't have that willpower, and ELLEV8 actually gives you that. Like they help push you, they help motivate you. And I mean, before they start a class, they always make you feel like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And ever so often, even me now, I need that push. I do need that push to realize, okay, because sometimes I when I first made the 100,000, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna start over. Can I do this again? And I was like, oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna try. And it was just tuning in and plugging in. I was able to continue going, and I still need it. That's why I'm still there, and I'm still learning. Honestly, there are a lot of things I still don't understand. And the fact that I still don't understand that I can still make money, that's to tell you the value of the education that ELLEV8 is actually giving. And yes, you will succeed with this platform. I know that it's not to be an income claim, but I'm telling you, you will succeed when you are on this platform. It's impossible not to. I personally came from like nothing, no knowledge, absolutely nothing. But you have to have the willpower to say, yes, I can do this, and I'm going to make sure and apply. And you just have to learn like 1 or 2 little things, and you would be surprised. You just have to plug into 1 or 2 educators, and you will be surprised. Just apply those few little concepts, and you will start earning, but you have to be realistic. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? But they tell you, they actually focus more on your risk than your reward. That's another thing. Yeah, so that's one thing I do. Son, that's another thing. Sorry.
You're okay. You're okay.
That's one thing that they actually tell you, that you have to manage your risk. They always tell you that. And they don't congratulate people for over risking their account and winning big and all these different things. They don't, because I remember when I finally made 100 and I texted John, and he was like, oh, okay. Well, you better not be putting that on, you know, this size account. You better have this size account. I was like, oh yeah, I do. And he's like, oh, okay. So,
what she's saying, friends, is when she was very excited on what her account did that time, the 3 figures became 6. And so she was sharing with me her experience and her thankful and gratefulness. And I was so upset. I did not care how much she made. I said, you have got to use proper risk management. And that was actually her real account. I thought it was a play account. I thought that she was exaggerating something, but I was put in my place. She was doing proper risk management because she was using the right investment size for her account size. So
yeah. He always leaves out that part of the story. He was disappointed in me in the beginning.
I was like, what are you doing? So Listen, Miss Kenia, I really appreciate you and your time and taking some time away from your family time right now to
Oh, no
share.
problem.
Because you did so well so far in trading less than a year, you owe me curry goat, jerk chicken, Jamaican patties, and all kinds of other curry. So I need to come to you. I need to finally go and meet you so I can, y'all don't hate on me. I'm trying to make a deal here. You have done so well, and I think that you should really hook it up with some food.
Of course, I'm gonna hook you guys with some food when you all come here. Yes,
Okay.
you'll have nothing to worry about.
I'm not sharing. Don't ask. Unless you're an educator, I will share. Otherwise, I'm not sharing. Listen, I appreciate you for sharing your story, and all of those that are listening. I really appreciate you as well for tuning in. And I want to land the plane, and I want to end it with this. She has done something that every one of you do have the potential and ability and access to do. Okay, you really do. The question is, what are you going to do with this information that you heard today? Because it falls back on your court. So without further ado, Miss Kenia, I appreciate you and I appreciate all of our listeners. Keep being a super student, and I will see you in class, my friend.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. Wait, do they allow to ask us questions? Are they supposed to ask questions?
Not in this one.
Yes, Shireen, I was supposed to tell them we don't have, well, we have curry goat, but we don't have Jamaican patties. We are known for doubles.
Oh, the doubles. Yes, yes, that's what I needed. The doubles. No, I don't. I want to make sure that people get the understanding of what you were able to do and what it takes to be a super student. And you were one of the first people that came to mind. All those that have questions, what I'm going to encourage you to do is get back to your leadership and your mentor, or even your favorite educator, and get those questions and concerns answered. And that's it. Let's elevate. Have an amazing rest of your day and enjoy the beach over there. I'm kind of jealous. I'm in Texas.
At least you guys could leave. I can't.
That's true.
We're all locked out.
That's true. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day. On Monday, we are seeking to unlock the ability to tune in live through the platform. So check your emails for any updates, any concerns. Get back to your leader and mentor for those questions and concerns. Boom.
Okay. Bye, guys.